Lemongrass Spa Lady of the Year, April Alstott, a warm awards night welcome.
You are so stupid. You aren't worthy of success. You don't have what it takes. You're too sensitive. You aren't strong enough. No one really likes you. Who do you think you are? These are just a few of the lies I used to believe about myself. They held me back, and they tried to keep me from moving forward. But I'm a fighter. About 6 years ago, I started taking Krav Maga classes in Israeli self-defense at our local martial arts academy. I love the intense workout and life lessons so much I became a certified instructor. Some of you may recall last year when Heidi called me on stage to receive the Lemongrass Lady of the Year award. I came on stage barefoot because I was so surprised to receive the award. It's very fitting since we train in our bare feet at my academy. Training in Krav Maga provided me an additional opportunity to be teachable and coachable, two important skills for learning life lessons. One day while I was training, these words flooded my mind. You've always been a fighter. They were followed by memories of trials including childhood abuse, low self-worth, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and more. It occurred to me how I have not only survived those attacks, but overcome them by being willing to work on healing and breaking chains that were holding me back, one link at a time. While some of life's battles are physical, many of them are mental, emotional, and spiritual. Heidi and Brian, thanks for seeing the fighter in me. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your gloves as we explore some self-defense tactics that apply to all of life's attacks. Tactic number 1, be aware of your surroundings. In self-defense terms, this makes a difference for your physical safety. Keep your chin up, eyes off your phone. Don't walk down the dark alley. Look over your car before you get in. Being aware of your surroundings plays a key role in all areas of life. Be in tune with what's happening around you, how people are talking to you, how they treat you, and what you spend your time doing. Ask yourself questions like, are the people I'm spending time with the type of person I want to be? Am I spending my day doing things that are moving me forward and things that are important to me? Being able to identify when something isn't right is the first step to change. You don't need to know how to change it at first. Just be brave enough to willingly take calculated risks to reposition yourself for a better environment. When I was 8 years old, I remember playing house with my sister and cousin. I remember I told them that I wanted to raise my children differently than I was being raised. They looked at me funny and asked me what I meant by that. And I said, I don't know. I just know I want something different. At the age of 17, I met my husband, Ron. Many of you met him. And we were working in a restaurant together. He was different from most guys I dated. Don't be jealous, but we did take time at Taco Bell when we were done working to get to know each other. That is where I learned he was active in his church. I laughed because I didn't date church guys, but he drew me in. He continued sharing about his faith, many times sitting in the back seat of the car with a flashlight and the Bible, reading the Bible together. Yes, the cops did come and shoo us along a few times. We really wish they would have come to the window to show this shocking surprise of us reading the Bible in the back seat of the car. I'm sure they didn't come to the window because they were expecting other things. So, through the Holy Spirit, Ron and I found a different way to raise our family without having had a clue of what that was going to be when I was 8. But that little girl knew there was a better way. Tactic number 2 is mindset. In self-defense, we teach that you must have a survival mindset in order to survive an attack. This is key above all your training. Many people have survived attacks with no training, just the sheer will to survive. Many of my favorite motivational quotes have to do with mindset. But my favorite is, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Our mindset can get mixed up from so many different directions. It can be lies told to us by others, by our society, social media, or even ourselves. We must fight each day, and sometimes every hour, to keep our minds focused on what is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. Growing up very poor, we didn't take any vacations, let alone luxury ones. While on the cruise ship of my first Lemongrass Spa incentive trip, my brain berated me. You don't deserve success. You come from a poor family. You don't deserve a nice vacation. Who do you think you are? I took a walk by myself on that ship and went through each of these thoughts and corrected them. I'm not defined by those before me. I worked hard and I earned this trip. I deserve to enjoy myself. I'm a child of God, the God who breaks chains and changes people. Now I look forward to vacationing for free, financially free and guilt-free. Tactic number 3, learn how to fall. Yes, we practice how to fall in self-defense. You can actually break your wrists if you fall wrong. We are going to fall on life's journey. Do you have a plan to soften the blow? For the most part, it seems easier to extend grace and forgiveness to others who knock us down, and it often seems harder to extend the same to ourselves. Maybe you can relate to laying awake at night, replaying all of the crazy things you've said or done, wishing that you could take them back. Let's change that and use it as an opportunity to grow. Look at the way you spoke to someone or treated them, and if it is not who you want to be, practice changing those responses. We must master the skill of being able to look at our own shortcomings in an effort to become a better human. Sometimes we need someone else to help us see these things about ourselves, and other times it's honest self-reflection. The first time I got punched in the nose, I had to stop the sparring match because all I could focus on was the pain. As I continue to practice, I sadly still get hit in the face. But now I can press forward and work to see what I can do differently to avoid being punched again, all while I continue to spar. Sometimes it's my instructor telling me how I can change things to be a better fighter, and other times it's reflecting on my training to see what I can do differently next time. See falling as an opportunity to grow and learn. Finally, tactic number 4, learn how to get up. Ideally, we don't want to fall, but when we do, it's important to get back up no matter what. If you can't get up right away, don't just lay there. Kick, bite, punch, fight in any way you can. After the birth of my second son, I had a miscarriage. While I was pregnant with my third son, I was knocked down by depression. I didn't recognize it, and I didn't know it was happening at first. We had many changes in our lives within months of each other. That's when suicidal thoughts pinned me down. It was heavy, and I didn't have the skills to fight back. I was terrified, but I did have the will to fight. The feeling of disconnect with life and those I love was lonely and hard. Over time, my depression got worse, and antidepressants didn't work as expected, so it was time to adjust the plan. I went to our church, got anointed, hands laid on and prayed for, as the book of James tells us what to do when we are sick. I was healed that night, one of the most amazing experiences of my life. But I didn't change anything about my lifestyle, and I got depressed again. I got anointed again, but God decided to teach me what I could do to change my lifestyle. After 1 month of working with a natural doctor, I felt alive again for the first time in years. I began changing our family's lifestyle to a more natural one. This is how I found Lemongrass Spa. It was a relief to find a company that offered products I felt good about using on my small children and have a way to make money while being home with them. Occasionally, depression will knock me down again, but I've practiced how to get up. I recognize the attack sooner, and I can get up faster or let it not knock me to the ground at all. Falling down and getting up takes practice, so don't be your own bad guy and beat yourself up. Use all of life's experiences as a learning opportunity to be better and faster in the future. You are a fighter, and you always have been. Be aware of your surroundings and who is in them. Check your mindset often. Remember, you will fall, so learn how to do it strategically, and always, always get back up. But most importantly, shoes are optional.